Holiday spirits are being jolted this year when neighbors come across a homeowner who appears to be hanging from his roof for dear life. But there's something about this struggling homeowner that looks familiar.
All right, can you read it?
When this festive prank features on last season's Neighborhood Wars, it inspires another neighborhood joker to take the ruse up a rung or two. Meet Dangling Man, an elaborate creation from the mind of a local dentist. Dangling Man is a mashup of a mannequin, PVC tubes, and a motion-activated motor attached to the pelvis, which causes the legs to swing wildly. The dentist adds Christmas lights and a ladder to the house. And as a final touch, plants a hidden speaker with his pre-recorded cries of help. It doesn't take long for the town to discover Dangling Man, and after a few days, the Oceanport Fire Department pays the dentist a visit. But after the initial shock, the neighbors end up falling in love with Dangling Man, helping to ensure that he will be hanging out in this neighborhood for many holiday seasons to come.
I hope you are doing well tonight.
Town board meetings can be a good place for neighbors to discuss issues with their local representatives. But like any open forum, tempers can quickly rise. In Pensacola, Florida, a town board committee begins its meeting with a prayer.
Today we celebrate our wonderful country.
But a neighbor objects to this Christian demonstration and recites his own prayer.
Let us have the Luciferian impulse.
Sir, you are disrupting.
Let us stand
Please
untrained.
wait till
Let us
she's
stand
finished,
now.
then you can say your piece.
As soon as the meeting's been called to order, I'll be happy to
Please, if you would.
This protester is a member of the local Satanist temple. But don't let his inverted cross fool you. He isn't trying to push his religious beliefs, rather the opposite.
It's not a question of order, it's a question of
Hare
politeness.
Krishna. Hare
This neighbor is protesting the inclusion of a Christian-based prayer before the town meetings
Krishna. I'll be done as soon as the meeting's called to order, sir.
and claims that unless these forums include all forms of prayer, then none should be given.
It's my right to pray here, sir.
I know you do this in every meeting.
This isn't the first town meeting the protester has crashed, and it's not long before a security guard intervenes.
Not for you to have next to the building.
Am I under arrest?
No, sir, I need to talk to you outside.
No, thank you. Hare Krishna. Sir,
I'm gonna ask you to come peacefully.
and I'm saying no thank you.
Well, I'm gonna ask you to come.
And I'm saying no thank
Sir,
you. Sir, take your hands off me. This is assault.
The security guard unholsters his pepper spray.
you know what this is?
Well, what am I resisting your phone?
You're coming in here causing a disturbance.
I'm praying in a public place before a meeting is called to order.
Come on.
And while this protester thinks he should be allowed to stay, the guard is letting him know
You have to leave.
he doesn't have a prayer.
You're assaulting me, sir.
Well, then call the cops and have me arrested.
I'm afraid. I don't want to
Come on out. Hey, Doug, give me a hand here.
I'm praying before a meeting
I don't
is
want to
called to order.
You are disrupting the conduct of public business.
Sir, the meeting is not public business. This is people praying.
I call this meeting to order.
Thank you. I will be silent.
Very good, thank you.
Once the meeting is called to order, the protester gives his assurance he'll be silent.
I'm prepared to be silent. The meeting's been called to order.
And an understanding is reached. More importantly to the committee, a silent understanding.
Now we will recess.
But a few moments later, the meeting is called into recess, and the committee tries praying again.
Today we celebrate our wonderful country and the founders we enjoy. Sacrifices.
And again, the protester starts another invocation.
Sir, you're gonna have to leave.
The meeting is not in order.
Sir, we've called the sheriff's office, you're gonna get arrested if you don't leave.
For what? For praying in public?
Doug, let's get him outside.
In 2014, the Supreme Court ruled that city and town councils are free to open their meetings with a Christian prayer. A court decision this neighbor is fighting.
I'm here to speak at the public forum. That's my right.
You know what?
This is assault. I will be filing charges. Thank you.
This protester eventually stops attending the town meetings and moves out of state.
Question of politeness.
Hare Krishna. I'm here to speak at the public forum. That's my right.
Letting these neighbors get back to their prayers, which now look to be answered.
I will be filing charges, thank you.
New Zealander Sasha Poldma has a problem. After returning home from work the last few days, she finds dog poop in her driveway. And it's not from her dogs.
So for like the last 3 days, I've been coming home from work and there's like dog all over my driveway. My dogs are in their kennel during the day when I'm at work or on the other side of the house. Like they don't roam. They're not roaming dogs.
To solve the mystery, Sasha sets up a camera to catch the culprit in action.
So I set my iPad up to take a video of what's been happening during the day.
And it soon becomes apparent that bad neighbors come in all shapes, sizes, and ages.
I am pissed. The audacity of this old bitch. This lady from next door comes with the on her shovel. And she's throwing it on my driveway.
What's even more aggravating for Sasha is that she takes pride in being a responsible dog owner herself.
Oh, look, my dog's taking a I'm about to pick it up. I don't even walk past her house. I go the other way, and I use freaking doggy bags, man. There are other dogs in this neighborhood, lady. I have a plan.
Instead of confronting her elderly neighbor, Sasha takes the high road and writes the woman a well-thought-out letter. She informs her neighbor that she's been caught on camera and that the police will soon be notified. Sasha's also sending along a little gift with a letter to return the favor.
It's like the middle of the night, and I've clipped this note to like 4 bags of that I've picked up from her, and I'm going out into the dark and put them in her mailbox. I'm so scared. Yeah, you can't see anything, but I just put it in her mailbox. I can't believe I did that. That is not me. But I am so offended.
With the parcel now delivered, the following morning, Sasha's revenge plan begins to unfold.
I'm gonna see if she's got the dog food out of her mailbox yet. Okay, it's not in there. Oh my God, I'm gonna go check my camera. Here she is. So she goes to the mailbox and she picks everything up. She's like, what the hell?
Sasha's scheme has worked. But just as she begins to fill out trespassing complaint forms given to her by the police, there's one last surprise in this neighborhood war.
So I'm gonna fill it out. And someone's here. Holy crap, she's at my door. Oh, hello.
Can you spare a moment?
Yeah, sure.
I am so sorry that I mean, I felt quite sick and horrible after I did. Yeah. So,
Well, you can imagine how I felt coming home. I was like, who's doing this to me? I haven't done anything.
In an unexpected twist, the neighbor gives Sasha the best of gifts, an apology. Turns out, the woman mistakenly thought Sasha's dogs were the ones relieving themselves on her property.
really do apologize.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I honestly really appreciate that.
Maybe Sasha's onto something, and the pen is truly mightier than the sword when it comes to settling neighborhood squabbles.
Dude, what the? Your lawnmower is definitely broken.
Mowing the lawn can lead to some untidy disputes between neighbors. Just ask Deanna Fowles and her family. They claim that for the past 3 years, their next-door neighbor has turned life on their serene Idaho street into the front lines of an ugly neighborhood lawn war.
And then you stupid blind pieces of can see that I had it surveyed.
When I first met my neighbor, she seemed very nice. I wasn't close with her, but I was able to coexist with her.
While there are no weekend barbecues between the two households, things remain civil until the Fowles' neighbor decides to lend them her green thumb.
The issues between me and my neighbor started pretty innocently. She had come over and said, the way you cut your grass is a little lower than mine and it looks uneven, and would you be okay if I took over mowing that spot since I see it a lot by my house? Well, gosh, if it means so much to you, yeah, you can mow that area, no big deal.
But a big deal it becomes when Deanna's 12-year-old daughter mows the lawn one day.
I get my neighbor running over, screaming obscenities at the top of her lungs. How dare you? You told me I could mow this area. You're going back on your promise. Complete meltdown. And it's not like my daughter ruined the lawn. She just cut it a little shorter.
Deanna apologizes to her neighbor, but things don't improve. They get worse.
We would come home from work, she's literally landscaping, mowing our whole entire lawn like she's been hired to do so. That's when my husband decided, okay, I'm gonna go over nicely and ask her, can you just not come on our property? And that was not well received.
And then you stupid blind pieces of can see that I had it surveyed.
The neighbor exacerbates the situation further and starts arguing over their shared property line.
Stay the hell off my property.
That doesn't belong to you. That is city property.
No. That is our boundary.
Then, like in so many other neighborhood wars, things turn petty.
My neighbor's a very dramatic person. She didn't want our family to benefit from anything of hers, including water. She has sprinklers over there, and she didn't want our lawn to be any greener from her water. So she obviously had to spend some money to buy this material to make these large plexiglass dividers that she would put up and take down every day, and that would stop the water from basically splashing onto our property.
And if that isn't miserly enough, with the help of a visiting family member, the neighbor uses a similar technique when tossing grass seed on her lawn.
She's got a cardboard barrier holding that up like really close to my husband to prevent any grass seed from coming onto our lawn. Just another way to irritate us, essentially looking for a reaction.
To create privacy for their family, the Fowles plant trees down one side of their house.
You're on my property. Interesting.
But their neighbor calls the police, claiming the trees are planted on her side of the property.
We actually went about a foot into our property so she wouldn't be close to the trees. The cops basically told her, I don't know what your issue is, they're on her property, and you should appreciate the privacy if you have an issue with your neighbor. And her response was, that doesn't matter, I want them taken down.
The woman's pettiness soon turns peculiar as she starts coming out nightly to survey the Fowles' property. With no end to the harassment in sight, the Fowles get a 6-month restraining order against the woman.
In that restraining order, she couldn't be outside when we were outside. What she started doing was she would come stand on the sidewalk and just stare for hours at a time. Restraining orders are only good as the prosecutors who are willing to back them up. Numerous times police came out, saw the footage, yep, that's a violation, and the prosecutor says, I'm not going to do anything about it. So that's what's the most frustrating is you do what the cop says, you obey the law, and you kind of are just left being harassed.
Deanna, though, has no intention of taking the easy way out of this feud and moving her family to a new neighborhood. So for now, this war rages on.
My kids were born and raised in this house. All our memories are here. I envision staying here forever. It's hard. It's hard to leave something like that.
Doorbell cameras capture hours and even days of mind-numbingly dull footage. But sometimes they see stuff that's just plain wrong. In British Columbia, Canada, a neighbor's app alerts her to some movement on the front porch, and she's alarmed to see a stranger rummaging through her mailbox. But just as she thinks they're leaving, things take a creepy turn. Wait, what? Yes, they licked the doorbell camera, and despite the DNA sample left behind, police are unable to trace them, so the mischief maker and their tongue are still at large. If that seems like such strange behavior, it could only happen once. Think again. In Canton, Georgia, this young kid on his bike seems so innocent. Until he decides to give his own special twist to the classic prank of Ding Dong Ditch.
I just like it!
Good day, neighbors. And then there's this guy who approaches a home in Salinas, California at 2 a.m. as the family sleeps inside and proves that he is the maestro. He's licking this intercom into shape and taking his sweet time. 45 minutes to be exact. The next day, the man is apprehended and charged with prowling. So, it looks as if he is well and truly licked. And the neighbors can relax until the next doorbell lover comes along. 3 young teens walk down the hall, one stopping to admire a package on a neighbor's doorstep. Another teen notices the door cam across the hall. The boys are gone for only moments before one teen walks back and nonchalantly checks his phone, blocking the neighbor's door cam. And when he leaves, voila, the package is gone. The heist seems to go off without a hitch, and all those seconds of planning pay off. Until later, when these teens are confronted with the footage and find out their neighbor's doorbell cam doesn't shoot in a vertical aspect ratio, but rather in widescreen, and in color, and with clear sound. These teen actors lose points for their poor performances. And for breaking the first rule of show business. Know your audience.
Can I help you? Can I help you?
I would say our town has been pretty low-key for many years. Recently, everything has changed. Just a lot of disagreements around politics.
This year, David places a sign in his yard for his preferred candidate in the Board of Education election, as he's always done. But one morning, he wakes up to find an unknown neighbor has put another sign in his yard for a candidate he does not endorse.
I don't like people just putting things on my property without asking me. It gives the perception that I'm aligned with that belief of whatever that person stands for.
At first, David thinks the sign has been put there because he lives on a busy intersection. But when he sees someone recording his reaction from across the street, he suspects the sign was put there to antagonize him.
Can I help you? Can I help you?
If it's the woman I'm thinking it is, I know that this is just bad news waiting to happen. As she gets to her car, her daughter jumps out of the car. And that moment is when I realized who it was.
Oh, there we go.
David recognizes the pair as his neighbors, a mother and daughter who he has a long-running feud with about local politics.
You want a phone call from my lawyers, Dave?
Once I realized who it is, it's like, of course it's them. And I didn't like it at all. They've bitten off more than they can chew.
I'm gonna call the police.
I told you once, leave me alone, don't come near my home, or it's considered harassment, and here you are. Thank you for coming by.
Dave, I'm calling the police on you.
I know I didn't do anything wrong, but I'm obviously nervous. I'm nervous because I don't know what she's capable of.
And by the way, now you're taking a picture of inappropriate pictures of me because of what I am wearing. So guess what? Now I'm really calling the police on you.
Cool. You wear it outside and come by my house.
I tried to stay calm, end the situation, and walk away, but I started shouting back and screaming back at her.
I knew you did it, Eliza. I knew you did it. I knew it. I knew it. Don't you ever come by my house again? Stop where you are. Stop where you are right now. You came over here with the intention? I don't give a what you did. You came over here intentionally to harass me.
No, I did not.
Get the out of here. When the cops come, I'll be sitting there. Because I knew you were coming.
Finally, the duo leave. Later, they file a police report alleging sexual harassment by Dave. But as they turned up to his property, the police take no action. However, now it's awkward when he runs into them around town.
I've completely avoided them and ignored them.
It turns out that both their candidates are elected to the Board of Education. But in the future, he hopes his neighbors will respect each other's opinions.
I hope at some point our community can get past this. If you want to get things done, we have a better chance of getting it done together than working against each other.
You want a phone call from my lawyers, Dave?
Lined with leafy streets and soaring apartment buildings, Milwaukee Avenue in the Logan Square neighborhood of Chicago is a hub of activity. And when a biker makes the mistake of pedaling to his front door on the sidewalk, one of his neighbors decides it's her job to enforce the law.
I want you to obey the law. Obey the bicycle laws. Obey the bicycle laws.
Yeah.
Obey the bicycle
Yeah,
laws.
yeah, yeah.
Obey the bicycle laws. This guy was disobeying the bicycle laws. Yay! So maybe a car will hit him. Yay! Wait. Let's
Don't-
turn it around.
don't touch
what?
my phone.
Don't touch your phone?
Don't touch me.
Don't touch your phone or what?
But before the biker can defend his phone, his neighbor throws her entire cup of water at him, soaking his shirt.
All right.
Yeah?
Satisfied, the sidewalk savior goes in for the victory lap around the neighborhood, but is quickly cut short by a witness.
You see that?
This man was disobeying the bicyclist.
who just so happens to be an off-duty neighborhood cop with the Chicago Police Department.
And you threw water at him or whatever that is?
Yes, I threw water.
Do you realize that's a battery?
No, it isn't a battery.
You're telling the police what it
It
is?
isn't a battery. He was taking my
Ma'am,
picture.
be quiet. I've been a
against the
policeman
law.
for 24 years. Don't tell me anything.
But she's not done telling him how to do his job.
I have been hit twice by
But
bike.
you didn't get hit by him.
No, my
Who do you
point
think
is
you
he
are?
was riding on the sidewalk.
Okay, so?
And then you don't give him a ticket, and he thinks it's
Excuse me.
okay.
But wait a minute, but
And
you
that's
still
what
have
he
you
was
still have
doing.
no right to throw something at
My
somebody.
point is
The
that he
point
was
is there's
taking
something
my
wrong with
picture
you, ma'am.
She seems determined to make everyone on the block aware of her very important point.
No, the point was he was disobeying the law,
You have an
and you
inside voice,
and you
ma'am?
don't and you
You
don't
have
do
an inside
anything.
voice, but you have to scream.
The point is you don't do anything. I was hit twice. I broke
you weren't hit tonight.
A broken
You weren't hit
twice.
tonight.
My point is.
The point is there's too much crime in Chicago for us to worry about people on bicycles
What?
on sidewalks.
I have been
Okay,
hit
so there's
twice.
people dying in the streets.
I've been hit twice, and you don't. Good. I'm glad you're getting this on tape. That this policeman said that.
Then I'm saying there's too much crime in Chicago for us to worry about little things. Yes, you're right.
The officer continues to try to reason with the woman as she gets further and further away from anyone's point.
I can go after a guy who is stealing somebody's purse, right?
Why are we
I can stop
Why are
somebody
we talking
from
about
doing
that when we're talking about a
Because
bicycle?
it's the same thing.
No, it's not.
Yes,
Stealing
it is.
and a bicycle on a
yes,
sidewalk?
Yes, it is. Yes,
Ma'am.
it is. I tried to stop him from disobeying the law.
But that's not your job.
Why?
Because you're not the police. I am.
Why is it different? If
Your job is not to worry about people on bicycles. My job is.
After almost 10 minutes of discussion, the officer consults the biker for his take.
When
you threw the water on me, it made me want you arrested.
Well,
yeah,
fine.
it did.
But my point is, I want you arrested
Well,
for endangering
that's not going to happen
people's
because it's not an
lives.
arrestable offense to begin with. It's just a ticket.
Eventually, the woman gets to a point.
The point is, I'm glad you're getting this on tape because now I can sue the city because the police
city for what?
do nothing about people like you.
Okay.
You seem to
So
think it's
duly
okay.
noted, ma'am. Anything else that you want? Anything.
I'm going to sue the city.
You're going to
You
sue the
guys-
city. Get in line.
The biker gives up and heads home without pressing charges and deeply regrets his decision not to take the train that day. While the woman isn't arrested, legend has it the officer is still stuck on the sidewalk trying to help find her point in the neighborhood.
All I'm
sidewalk.
saying
You said
is
that at
there are a
his
lot of
tape.
people in
And
Chicago
that's
that
what
if
I'm
you throw
gonna
something
take to
at them, they're
court.
not going to be as nice as him.
My point
All right, they're going
is,
to give you a smack.
Venice Beach, California. A group of women enjoy an afternoon at their neighborhood beach when they suspect a man and his group of friends of recording them. One of the women, wearing an orange dress, confronts a man in a green jacket. And a beach brawl ensues. One of the men tries to calm the situation, but his efforts are fruitless.
Why the hell are you trying to pick on a little ass girl, bro?
The scuffle escalates further when the man pushes one of the women, turning this fight into a fist-flying beach battle. The man playing peacemaker now turns aggressor and swings wildly at the other women, striking one in the face. Two concerned neighbors who witnessed the fight try to cool things off, but despite their best efforts, this brawl has at least another round to go, as the woman in the yellow bathing suit decides a kick to the head is necessary.
These stupid ass bitches, dude.
What's more, one of the Good Samaritans suddenly finds himself dragged into the middle of this neighborhood fracas. The recorder's friend is back on his feet, now bloodied and dazed.
The cops are coming. If the cops come up, you're gonna get arrested.
Now, even one of the Good Samaritans is annoyed he's being recorded, and he lashes out at the man with the camera.
I'm not. I'm a YouTuber. This is my job. You're gonna get arrested, dude.
Later, the cops arrive, but this neighborhood rumble is long over. No charges are filed, as the men claim they are just live streaming from the beach and not recording the women.